Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 108 of CrossButtonVR, our journey into the world of VR. I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honor to be joined by one of the most keeping it real influencers in the metaverse. It's Reece. Hello, Reece.
Good day to you and to everyone who is listening.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Keeping it real?
I am keeping it real. Real as ever.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. You had a productive, busy, fun, exciting week? All the above?
It was the finale of Reacher, if anyone watches Reacher. If so, leave it in the comments, yeah.
Did it live up to the hype?
It did, yeah. It was really good. Really good. Look forward to the next season now.
Yeah, well, if we're talking about TV, it was also the finale this week of the latest series of Mythic Quest on Apple TV. And any video game fans, any video game fans should get watching Mythic Quest. It's fantastic. It's really good.
Is it as funny as It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I don't know because I've not watched many of Always Sunny.
Fair play.
But Rob McElhenney is a funny guy.
Great,
yeah. I find it's a very funny program, so
Brilliant.
I can't compare it in funniness to something else. But it's a very funny program in its own merits. It's very good. It's one of these programs that starts as like a silly workplace comedy, and then it becomes more of a drama as you get more and more invested in characters and stuff. So yeah, I really like it, and it's just now starting to do like they call them side quest episodes where they're going to do like 4 spin-off episodes that are.
Did they take that from us?
I think they did, yes. I think
so.
Rob McElhenney, big fan of the show. Rob, if you're listening, just shout out. Cool. All right. Well, so Rob McElhenney, if you'd like to support us, please make sure you're giving us the podcast as a sub on whatever service they're using. And Rob, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment too, because it's quite cool if Rob McElhenney leaves a comment on YouTube. And whilst you're there, follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, all the rest of them at CrossButtonVR. Also, you find us on Ko-fi or ko-fi.com where you can support us. Coffee? Well, yeah, but people will just start typing coffee into the browser.
That's a good point, yeah.
ko-fi.com. Ko-fi. And you can help just throw some cash at us if you'd like. We don't do a Patreon, so just too much faff and it feels too weird. But if you do like to support us, and thank you to those of you that do that already. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's jump into the big game of this week, and it's an exciting one. It's one we've been waiting for. It's one, it's fair to say that it's not been one that I've been too excited by because I didn't think it was going to be the right sort of thing. But by God, I'm loving it. It's Hitman: World of Assassination.
God,
what do you reckon, Reece?
I'm going to go first because I'll let you go with was it Underdogs?
Yeah, go on. Let's hear you.
Bear in mind, last time I tried this game was on Quest. I didn't try PSVR1 or PC. Okay, so that's my only comparison between the two Hitman VR styles of games.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly, obviously, this looks 10 times better in every sense of the word. Holy hell. You'll be doing the mission and chasing down your target, and then all of a sudden you just go, oh, wait, what's that lighting over there? You just want to walk off and you forget everything else you're actually meant to be doing just to go stare at stuff. It's so visually stunning. It's like being just away from home and just looking at these various locations. I think that's the one thing that's probably blown me away the most is just how good the lighting is. And I find it quite funny because it goes into the cutscenes and you're like, but the VR version looks better than the cutscenes I'm now seeing. Just put me back into VR. Like, it's crazy. Sure. Very well done.
Do you think it's a new kind of high benchmark for technological kind of VR performance?
I think it's up there with like the other hybrid games that we've got, like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 8, all that kind of stuff. I think it's kind of put itself next to them games as a staple point of what you need to do when making a hybrid game. Sure, there is still some things that some people may go, oh, I wish this was done a little bit better, a bit more intuitive. And I'm sure we'll touch on some of that. But once you get the hang of everything, it just feels right. It feels natural. And
so I think it looks better than RE4, which I think the lighting on that is quite sort of flat. It doesn't. It kind of looks a bit more kind of
art style is a bit different. Almost. This looks a bit more like realism style, whereas Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's not to say Resident Evil was a bad.
Oh
game,
no, not at all.
It looks amazing, but I just think on this, like you say, the lighting. The Paris mission is set during sunset, and you see like all the god rays coming through trees and stuff, and you just think, God, this is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, there's too many occasions where I've just walked off to go look at stuff around me or just go stand on like the ridge of a mountain just to look over at the ocean. And I don't
Hmm.
think I've done that so much before in a VR game where I'm like not concentrated on the reason why I'm playing the game, as opposed to just wanting to look around at absolutely everything. Like even when you're walking around like the main levels and you're seeing the sheer amount of NPCs around you as well, which bear in
Yeah,
mind
it's
is
crazy.
fucking insane.
Hundreds and hundreds of people on screen at
And
any
no
one time.
frame drops at all, with all these people just walking around you dancing, and you're like, how the hell is this happening? Like, I'm playing on the base PlayStation, and I believe in an interview they said they may be looking at doing a PS5 Pro update at some point for it if need be. But like,
Mm.
this runs phenomenal on the base PlayStation. I'm sure it runs even better on the PS5 Pro, but like no issues whatsoever. I've not had any frame drops. I've not had any stuttering, and it just blows you away because of the sheer amount of NPCs there. That's enough to kind of make some PCs out there be like, oh, I can't do that. Like, but
Hmm.
it's handling it so well, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So in
crazy.
the first mission, first proper mission, when you're in Paris and you go into that big, the big building, and there's a fashion show going on, and you go into the room, and it's like almost overwhelming there because the music and the lights are playing, and there's people going on there on the catwalk, and there's just crowds of people all around you, and there's like waiters bringing around trays of drinks, there's security guards everywhere, the music's booming, the lights are going, there's just people talking like around you, there's constant, like so much chatter going on in the room. I've never been in a kind of VR environment that just feels so alive and vibrant and real.
And to add to that as well, like one thing this game does that not every VR game does is like when you walk up to an NPC and they go, "Excuse me, sir, you can't walk in here. This is for this is for authorized personnel only." And you're just standing there, you're like, "Oh, he actually witnessed me. He's talking to me. I'm
Mm.
seeing him directly." And it's such a trip
Yeah.
because most games you just walk up to someone who's blocking an entrance, you'd be like, you can't pass. He doesn't say anything to you. Sometimes it's just they're just standing there, and you can't pass it because there's a person blocking the entrance. Whereas here, it's like they'll say it to you, and then they'll watch you as you're walking away, and they're watching your every move, and it's like this feels crazy in VR. Like just having somebody
I
like completely watching your movement. It's like this is a new level of
yeah.
realism for me.
See, I hadn't thought about that, and you're right because, like in Horizon Call of the Mountain, for instance, you can go up to go Aloy, which she's sort of
Yeah,
standing
she
there.
moves
You can
back,
just be
doesn't she?
right
Yeah,
up in her face, and they don't say anything or really react to you. Whereas in this, it's not just security guards; it's just anyone
yeah.
that's in the at the party or whatever. If you get too in their space, if you go right in front of them and look them in the face, they're like, "What are you doing? Get away from me!"
Yeah.
And they'll kind of like ugh,
Yeah,
sort of reaction
it's
face, and
it's
it's like,
great.
I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, I wasn't expecting you to react like that."
Yeah,
I need to be careful what I'm doing around these people. I need to act naturally, which is obviously the whole point of the game is you've got to blend in. And so when you're playing it in VR, it's almost like your body language is important in it and stuff. And when
yeah.
the guard tries to sort of, if you're spotted being weird or sort of trespassing, they're like, put your hands in the air, and you're like, shit, okay, I put my hands in the air, and then I get down on your knees, and you're like, do I actually have to get down on my knees?
Can I
Okay.
just press the crouch button? I've got to do this for real.
Yeah, you're like, shit, okay. So I'll
You're
go
being
along with it.
handcuffed, and all of a sudden in real life you're handcuffed. Like, what the hell's going on here? This is getting too real.
Because obviously you play it in room scale and you can play it seated, and I'm playing it standing, and I've got quite a big space now to play VR in, so you can walk around kind of spaces as well if you need to for those kind of fine tuning the last little bit
Yeah,
of movement and stuff, and so it just feels so immersive. Any way I can describe
it's
it, it's so
crazy.
immersive.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's insane.
it was.
It's almost
It was like on that
God,
same bit, like when he stopped me and he was watching me, but it comes at that little marker to say you're now kind of alerted to that person, and you when you look over in their direction, you can just see them looking at you, and you kind of lock eyes with the NPC. It just feels like a right real life moment. It's just I
yeah,
don't know. It's one of the
it's
things I think a lot
freakish.
of people are going to be. They're going to do it, and they're going to go, "Oh wow, this it feels quite trippy." And I think that's one thing I think's kind of blown me away the most is that because it's
Mm.
that whole sense of purpose at all times. You don't kind of just feel like everyone matters around you, and that's quite crazy when you think of it.
And yeah, so and there's I think there's 20 if you buy the World of Assassination, all the games together. There's 20 different settings and missions basically you can go on. And I'd almost recommend this to people, even if you've got no interest in playing the game. You've got 20 virtual environment simulators. Just walk around the environments. Just don't engage with any of the game's mechanics, and just you could spend 20 minutes, half hour just exploring. And in the Parathon, you can go down into the kitchens, down into the cellar. You can go behind the scenes of the fashion show that's going on. There's an auction going on. You can go into the attic of the place. You can go around all the gardens of the place. You can see the Seine. You can see the helicopter parked on the lawn. Like it's it's just amazing just wandering around these places and just exploring them and just getting to grips with them, or just poking around in all the little nooks and crannies and stuff. And obviously, as you're going around it, you're overhearing conversations that give you intelligence that you can then solve the mission with, or you're finding things that you can use later, or you're finding like shortcuts and sort of escape routes and stuff. So it's all fantastic, but I would absolutely just recommend this game just as a kind of VR technical showcase. The game is pretty. I mean, it's on sale at the moment. You can get it for £23, and I think you need to pay another
£7.99. I think it is for the update in the UK, which is worth every penny.
Yeah, so it's about £30 all in, and at the moment it's on sale. And I think you can buy a physical edition for pretty cheap anyway, and you just pay the £8 then after you get the physical edition. And yeah, as I say, because when you start the game, all those environments are unlocked from the start. It does suggest that you play them in order, but you can override that and say, no, it's not that. I just want to go in. And so, yeah, you could just jump into any of the missions and just have a great time. 20 environments, just like £1 or £2 each one, and just do it as like a, you can go around Sapienza and just go around Italy and just all these amazing locations, and go to like Dubai and stuff. And because they just look incredible. And in terms of kind of what VR can do, and VR is that kind of power to transport you to somewhere. I think I'd recommend it just for that alone. I don't know, they could do like a version of this where they strip out all the Hitman mechanics and just
like explore the levels,
exploration.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, make it kind of, or just have like a no conflict mode where you can't.
Yeah, have the NPCs still there so that you bump into them, they say stuff to you, because again, like that'd be like real life, but don't have
it. Or have like a god mode so you don't have to worry about.
Because if you do go into a gunfight in this game, like I will say, like if you've never played a Hitman game, this is not a guns blazing type of game. You can do it, but you've got to be very strategic with your shots, go to cover, all that kind of stuff, and you've got to be perfect with your aiming. If you're bad with your aiming, you're going to die straight away. But the art of this game is sneaking around and being all kind of hidden, blending in, like Laurie said. It's taking disguises and acting like somebody else, even though you don't have hair, and the person you've taken clothes from, you do not look like him.
You are quite
and you have a barcode on the back of your hair, which I always find really funny, when it's like, oh, blend in, Agent 47. You're like, yep, I'm blending in. 1 minute. It's like, they can see the barcode, can't they? Yeah.
Bald guy with a barcode on his head. It's like, hey, weren't you a janitor a minute ago? No, I'm a security guard. Don't it's fine.
I'm a famous model.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Did you go for that on that mission? Did you go to become?
No.
I went to become the famous model, and everybody's like, you walk past him and they say his name all the time, and he's like, I was like, yep, that's me. I'm definitely him. Thank you. You get the makeup on. And I finished the level with the makeup on. And he just walks out in the cutscene with his face just covered. I was like, that's brilliant.
It's like that Simpsons episode with like, what's your name, sir? It's like Mr. Burns, and your first name? I don't know. That's what I'd be like in this impersonation game. And I think the Paris level, I've been playing it for hours, and there's just so much to explore, and I almost like, I'm just, because the way I'm playing it, and this is if it's right or not, but I'm just trying to learn as much as possible, and then I'm going to restart the mission, and I think, right, now I've got all the information I need, I want to have a kind of a perfect run and do it properly. And even whilst I've been doing it, it keeps flashing up to say, oh, this intelligence route, or this method of killing a person is now closed off to you because you've missed the opportunity to do it. It's like, okay, so events are happening around you. There is, people are moving around, and people are coming and going and leaving and doing stuff, and the show ends and stuff. So you've got an opportunity, you've got a window of opportunity to execute the kill in a certain way. And if you miss that, you have to fall back, and there's other ways you can do it. So there's always ways you can find it. And the game encourages, once you take out the targets, it encourages you to replay the mission, and it shows you all the other methods that you could do.
The different challenges and things like that as well.
It's at its heart, this is like a sandbox puzzle game where you have to kind of think, right, how can I interact with all these things and move the pieces on the chessboard in order to kill this guy without anyone seeing me, and just walk out without any fuss and without anyone knowing it was me that did it. Now that's what you say, the gunfights in this is not a shooty game.
No,
and it
punishes
punishes you for doing that. If people, you can take a couple of shots and then you're dead.
And that's even on casual mode, let me add. Like I tried on casual mode, and I think it's probably about 6 shots and then you die. And bear in mind, there's like groups of them that flurry in when you alert the enemies.
Yeah. And it's the game's not brutally difficult, because it's easy to not get shot. You just don't shoot yourself, don't get caught, and it's quite easy to walk around. And the game kind of warns you before you're going to set off any alarms or trigger people's, like, you can see them, they go kind of, well, on casual anyway, they get suspicious, and you get quite a while to sort of turn around and leave the room before they start shooting at you. So yeah, I think you've got to push it quite hard on purpose to to get in gunfights and stuff. And obviously, if you just pull out your gun and shoot someone in front of everyone, then they're not going to let you do that. They're going to shoot you, because that's the game
Although-
saying that's not how you would play as
I
a
did
hitman
that.
unless you're Reece, and you've completely broken the game there.
I think it was on the first level, and he was about to walk onto the catwalk, and I stood round the corner and just poked my gun round the edge and just shot him in the head, and just put my gun away and ran down the corridor, and nobody spotted me. I was like,
yeah, I mean, if no one saw you do
okay,
it, then that's
brilliant.
that's a perfectly valid way of doing it, right? But if you do it in front of a crowd of people, then they will not start looking for you.
That's the thing. I should have been seen. There was 4 other people around him, which just made it even funnier. But yeah, and another thing that feels really cool as well. Like, I know, obviously, again, everything you're doing in here, you can do in the non-VR version, but it just feels better in the sense, like, especially when you're listening to people talk and then you kind of hear what they're saying. That's how you kind of gather the different routes of intel and things like that, what ways to do it. And that's like how you can become the model on the first level as well, is because you listen to some of these other people and they turn around and go, oh, he looks like you look incredibly like him. And just, again, it's like standing away from the group but listening in. It's almost
so
like
clever,
it just,
yeah.
I don't know. I think these type of things just trick with my mind in VR to the point where it's like, I'm in this area, aren't I? I'm actually Hitman. Like, it's
You have such a presence. The way that you kind of have to eavesdrop on people and stuff, and if you get too close, they're like, "What are you doing? Go away! Like, stop being nosy."
I love that. I bumped into a woman. She was like, "Excuse me." I was like, "Oh, sorry. Let me just take that knife," and then just ran off. Like, it's good. It is really good.
It's. What I also like is that some games you play in VR, these hybrid games, you can play it in non-VR, and obviously you have saves for the VR version and you have like non-VR saves, but you could start the mission in non-VR or you can start it in VR. It's all unlocked from the start, so you can choose to pick a mission. You can play it in VR or non-VR, doesn't matter which. It's not like a game like Resident Evil. You have to play the whole thing from start to finish in
done poorly.
VR or not VR.
And then Resident Evil 8, you couldn't get the trophies in VR as well, which is really odd.
But I love the idea in this that I could pick up my Portal or play it on flat screen, and I can think, right, this is going to be more kind of a research session. I'm just going to play. I'm just going to explore the environment, look for
my
intel.
homework on the Portal.
Do my homework, exactly. So then when I go in for VR, I think, right, now I'm actually in the game. I've got all the I know the route I'm going to take, the method I'm going to execute, and now it's okay. I just want to try and execute this perfectly, and that to me is like a really sort of fun way of doing it. I think, right, because I love the idea of being able to sort of switch between VR and non-VR, so I can do it in non-VR, and it's a bit kind of, it feels a bit more casual almost. But then when you play it in the game, you think, right, I'm not going to piss around now. This is for real almost. I'm doing it because it just does feel so realistic. It is incredible. I absolutely, anyone that owns a PSVR2 has to buy this game. It's, for me, it's the, like, Sony are mad. This should be like all an advertising campaign. This is because I think,
to be
Hitman
fair, they have advertised it quite a bit on their Twitter this week. Like, literally, they've been sharing this one out quite a bit. I think I've seen maybe 2 or 3 posts with Agent 47 play it in VR, and then and I think afterwards another update came out for Hitman as well. So, like, not only that, you're constant. That's another thing to like mention with World of Assassination. If you buy this game, it's a bit like No Man's Sky in a sense. This is the gift that keeps on giving. They do their celebrity assassination events. I think at the moment you've got a Sean Bean one, and there's been countless ones before that. And then also there's other DLC that comes out, and it's just so much they keep adding to this game. Bear in mind, this World of Assassination,
kind of like a platform.
Yeah, it came out back on PS4, and it's still getting updated all the time, and it's crazy.
Because when you buy it, it's essentially 3 games in one, right? You've got all the campaigns, plus there's lots of sort of spin-off side missions that have been DLC over the years. Plus there's the seasonal events that are constantly happening. But yeah, I think each game has, I think, about 6 or 7 missions in it, and they're all kind of tied together in a big long line. So you could just work through all 20 of them. And like I say, each one can take you, like, if you know what you're doing, you could go straight from. You can complete the mission probably in 5 minutes if you just run straight to pick up the stuff. But no one playing for the first time would ever be able to do that because you wouldn't know.
No, I think I spent like 2 hours across the first 2 missions.
Easily,
and I was happy with that.
A couple of hours. Easily spend a couple of hours on it for your first playthrough for a mission. And so, yeah, in terms of the value in this game, like, you're encouraged even after you do a perfect mission. There's 7 or 8 different ways that you're going to have to complete the mission, and the game encourages you to try out different ones and to try and find them all, and but you unlock more points the more different methods that you do and the more routes you take through the level. It's so clever. The design of it is just incredible.
Yeah.
And it just lends itself so well to VR, where it kind of, you have the choice and the agency to how you kind of move through that environment and how you explore and how the world reacts around you and stuff. I just it's incredible.
It is really good.
And I think the real thing that's kind of really struck me is that obviously a big fan of the Quest as well, but I think the PSVR2 has got now in GT7, the Resident Evil games, No Man's Sky, and this a set of really good hybrid games that you can play, games that you are all really well regarded, well loved games that are just taken to the kind of turned up to 11 by playing them in VR, and that only PSVR2 can really offer that games that you can just games that people love already, and playing them it's a whole different way to experience games that just makes them even more incredible. And I think there's a lot of people out there that would be GT fans and Hitman fans and Resident Evil fans, and I just think that if you get PSVR2, you can play some of your favorite games in a whole new dimension, in a whole new light. You can see them.
I don't think I'm going to be playing much of it in non-VR, and I think the last Hitman game I bought and played quite heavily was Hitman Absolution. So much so that I bought the collector's edition of that one. I really did enjoy my time with it. But no, this is really cool, really really cool.
Well, we could spend the entire episode gushing about this, but we probably should move on because there's loads of news this week, and I'm sure we're going to keep revisiting.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it a few more times. I'm sure of that.
But I'm so pleased that as a game, because I know it's had a few ports that haven't quite landed, haven't done so well, and the Quest one we just need to never mention again now because we can kind of forget all of those. And
the thing is, they could fix it if they really wanted to. They could.
I mean, it's never going to look like this. I refuse to believe it.
No, it would never look like this. No.
And don't get me wrong, the Quest 3 is like remarkable tech. I think that every time I put the Quest 3 on,
blow up.
This is the most. Yeah. Every time I put the Quest on, I was like, this is the most futuristic gadget I have in my house. This is incredible. We just put it on and the pass-through on it and just being able to see like virtual windows and stuff and jump into the mixed reality stuff. It's all amazing. But yeah, it couldn't run this. It's it doesn't have the power to do Hitman. So yeah, every PSVR2 owner, please go and buy this game.
Show Sony that this is some of the stuff you want. You want some more stuff like this.
Yeah, more, and it feels like a much more sustainable future for VR as well, because making games like Metro Awakening are like really great, virtually AAA for VR. The audience isn't there, so just take fat games that are already made and just convert them. Because and then the people that have them on VR can enjoy the best versions of those games. And they're not having to take the risk of just creating whole new games from scratch that potentially very few people are going to be able to play.
Exactly that.
Yeah, Astrobot next, please, Sony. But yeah,
Alex will come back for that one, remember?
Yeah. So if nothing else, but I think this is like completely shaking up the whole kind of best games on PSVR2 conversation.
100%. I think it's going to be in a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, it's like, even if you're not really bothered about Hitman, I think it's just worth playing just to experience the environments and just wander around them all. And you could spend hours and hours just marveling at it all, really. For that alone, I think it's worth buying. Right, we do need to move on, though.
Yes, let's get to the news.
Can't keep talking about Hitman. The news, yes. Okay, we'll quick fire this because we've got loads of it. Quests. We'll talk about Quest now. Let's go talk about Quest. There's been a Quest exclusive revealed. Big IP, Star Wars. It's called Beyond Victory. And they're describing it as a mixed reality playset. And God knows what the fuck that's going to be.
What does it even mean?
Yeah, they're just I think there's a picture they've revealed, and they've not really shown much details of it. Yeah. There is a full review coming at some Star Wars convention event thing that happens at the end of next month. So in about a month or so's time, we will learn the full reveal of that. But I think they have described it as it's mixed reality, and it takes pod racing to a whole new level. So it'll involve some sort of pod racing. So I'm guessing, is it like a sort of tabletop pod racing game? I don't know. But the fact it's a playset makes it sound a bit like I kind of think, is it going to be like a Scale Electrics, but pod racing in mixed reality somehow? Is it going to like make a pod racing course in your front room? I don't know. I'm just guessing. But
who knows? I've not been big on Star Wars for quite some time, so it's kind of one of them things where it's like, I'll try it, but I doubt I'll get the enjoyment from it like a huge Star Wars fan would.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe it. I like Star Wars. I would say I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I watch most of it. and I watched most of it thinking, oh, I wish this was better than it is. It's like, I want to love this more. Some bits of it are like really amazing, like anime and stuff. There's some stuff that is fantastic, and then there's a lot of average stuff, as everything Disney is
Yeah,
these
I
days.
think it was about a year or two ago I did a Star Wars marathon because I hadn't seen the new trilogy with like all the Disney ones.
Oh.
And
I could have saved you 6 hours there.
yeah. Anyways, let's move
They're
on.
not great.
Yeah.
So we'll learn more about that soon. But I thought it was quite interesting that it's a big exclusive for Quest anyway. Getting Star Wars IPs exclusive. It builds on those Vader games they've got as exclusives as well. Next up, this is quite comical. The Wanderer, Fragments of Fate has been delayed again. We thought we'd be playing it this week, but it's been delayed another week. So I think it comes out a day or two after this podcast episode.
I think it worked out for the best though with Hitman. Let's be honest.
I think so.
It'll give them both the room to breathe properly, because otherwise it would have been such like a. People would have had to break their time up way too much, and some people don't like doing that when it comes to gaming. So I think this was for the best.
Yeah, and Sony are like, guys, we don't have that many games coming out. You two are like our biggest games of the year potentially.
Sony's like, we're making you move it back. You have no decision on the matter. We've just moved it on the store. It's not going to release.
Spread them out, you idiots.
Yeah, but we're looking forward to playing that still. 100%. Looks great, and there's been some first impressions, like you said, that have came out for it. I believe our good friend Jamie has one out as well. Shows some gameplay and how it looks. So definitely worth checking that out.
It looks very cool.
It does.
And a much more VR-y game than Hitman in terms of kind of the interactions and things.
Yeah.
A lot more kind of traditional VR of picking up chunky things and interacting with them and stuff.
Yeah, doors that may or may not work.
Yeah. Janky doors and all. Anyway, so that's coming out next week. For everyone that has a PSVR2, please do yourself a favour and go onto the PS Store and check out the games on sale. You can just scroll to the VR2 section, and you can just scroll through all the games, and you'll see loads of them are on sale at the moment, including Hitman. But there's loads of them that are kind of what I would consider must plays for the. So I'm going to just pick a few out just now because I think it's really
okay. Go on, you pick your few and I'll pick my few.
So we've got Resident Evil 4, it's down to £17.
Yes.
Metro knocked down to £23.
Yes.
We've got Synth Riders,
yes,
£12. Arizona Sunshine Remake, £16. And these are all quite chunky discounts. A lot of these are getting Kayak Mirage down to £13. Jurassic World Aftermath is down from £25 down to £5.
That's a good deal.
£5. That is a great gain. And if you like Jurassic Park, that's a really good deal. Seventh Guest, £25 down to £15 at the moment. That's one of my favourite games on the system. So yeah, Pistol Whip as well, 25 down to 15. So those are the ones that jumped out at me. But I think you could spend £100 here and just get
100%.
Some fantastic games.
There's a few that I've seen as well. Propagation Paradise Hotel from $15.99 down to $7.99. It's shortest experience, but it's fantastic. So definitely worth it.
Yeah, £8. That's like the price of a pint.
Yeah,
in Probably London. My pint is from Pinter, much cheaper than that.
Sea Smash VRS. It's on sale for $15.99, but if you have PlayStation Plus, you save 20% more, which that's pretty good. There's a few others like that. Very Bad Dreams. That's £9.59, but 10% more if you have PlayStation Plus. After the Fall, $9.99 from £25. That's a complete edition. $24.99 down to $9.99. But you get another 10% if you have PlayStation Plus. So that is another very good deal. I'm quickly skimming through. Kill It With Fire down from $11.99 to $2.99.
Kill it.
And that's not a bad little game, to be fair. That's not bad at all. It's a good little bit of fun. So nice little sale on that. Yeah, there's some without going through the whole store, I think there's some I've skipped. Let me go back to the first page. Stride Fates, had a good bit of fun with that. Moss Book 2. Metal Hellsinger, great game. Yeah, there's loads here. Like literally, I think if I didn't have most of these games, I'm actually going to go on the sale afterwards and find out what ones I don't have and start picking them up, because I do that a lot of the time. If I don't have a game when it goes to the sale, that's when I pick it up usually. Yeah, loads of good stuff on sale, so definitely worth checking.
Arcane Age. Arcane Age, quite a new release as well. It's down to £25.
Worth it.
So, yeah. Decent savings on those.
Good amount of stuff.
Alien as well, down to £25. So some of the games big new releases as well. The big games we saw just at the end of last year, beginning of this year in Metro, Arcanage and Alien, all on for a good price now.
See what the cheapest stuff is. You can get Train Chase from 579.
Not,
you know, we go right.
Not Beat Saber though.
Yeah.
Not Beat Saber. The
Beat
game
Saber
refuses
is never
to ever
on sale.
go on sale.
But there is some really cheap stuff as well. Like say if you just want to fill out your library, there is quite a lot of cheap games. You've got someone here that's like £1.44, £1.59. There's a few at that price. So yeah, The Last Worker, $3.99. There's quite a bit on here that's gonna pad out your library. Another one, and I know you like this, Laurie, Not for Broadcast.
Yeah,
from £20 down to $4.99.
That is a funny old game.
So yeah, there is a lot on sale before your eyes. Another good one. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there to keep
do
you
yourself
entertained.
a favour. Time to fill out your library with some new games. Go on, treat yourself. You've been good this month.
Yeah, do it. Go on.
Yeah, unless you're skinny and you got no money, then don't spend it on VR games. Please make sure you take care of the.
Buy responsibly.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, have fun.
CrossButtonVR told us to do it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Behemoth, a game which is not on sale, sadly, is getting a new Game Plus mode. So it's nice to see that game still being supported. It came alongside a new patch with extra kind of stability and all that kind of jazz on it.
Nice.
So Behemoth is just reason to jump back into that game. If you finish that game or want to play through it again, feeling like a complete overpowered biatch, then go for it. Yep. We've had a new trailer for Aces of Thunder. Still looks amazing. Like it looks really amazing.
Yeah, it does look good.
It's like
I know that's going to make me throw up. Like that is one game I'm going to do a barrel roll in it, and I'm just going to lose it. And I can tell, I can see it happening. So yeah.
I've got a mate who's a pilot, and he like he works for the RAF.
Okay,
so
can you get him to come test this and then get him on the show and just talk about it for a few seconds?
I will. He has a PS5, but he doesn't have VR. But when this game comes out, I'm going to get him around to play it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go straight into buy a PSVR2 after playing this game because he's really into planes.
You have to drag him on just for his faults, even if it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, well,
possibly not. Give him a pint, he'll do it.
Still no release date yet on that one though. So we're expecting it soon. It was going to be a 2024 game. So we're now Q1 has elapsed. So we're now into Q2. Still no sign of the release date, but surely not too much longer for that one.
Yeah.
A game which does have a release date is Resist. It's been dated for April the 10th. This is a game that is out already on Quest. It's kind of a dystopian type. I don't know what you're mainly doing in this game. You're running around. There's lots. You're kind of like Spider-Man, aren't you?
Yeah, swinging around, shooting stuff.
Spider-Man them up.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Much more violent Spider-Man.
They did a comparison as well to show you the differences between Quest and the lighting. Again, like it just seems like they push the lighting a lot when they get over to PSVR2, and it doesn't bother you until you see it, and you're like, okay, cool, that looks a lot better. So yeah, looking forward to trying this.
Yep. That's cool. And then Masters of Light, which is a game that I am very fond of. I played it on PSVR2 already, but I'm now going to revisit it because it's got a hand tracking update, so I can throw away my DualSense controllers and just play it.
I would recommend throwing them
of my hands. No, I'm not going to literally throw them away. I'll throw them onto my soft sofa.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that this is now the second game to finally support hand tracking, which they were the first. The first was Waltz of the Wizard. So they were very happy to point out that, and I think this one may have been. It was close. They were so close to getting it working, and then Waltz of the Wizard got it all done, and it was out. But we knew this was going to get hand tracking because they did retweet that post and say about it. But no, I'm glad they finally got it on there because you could tell they were working really hard and trying to get it done because that's how this game shines is with its hand tracking. So I'm glad they've been able to do this on PlayStation now.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. Hand tracking, Wartown Wonders. The hand tracking on that was the first hand tracking game I played, and I'm like, it blows your mind the first time you do it. The first time you put your controllers down and you can still play and you can just interact with stuff. That is especially so because in that game it's very tactile. You're literally the little NPCs are jumping onto your hand and stuff, and you have to carry them around.
I think
more than Masters of Light, which would be a kind of wavy hands and making kind of shapes with your hand kind of stuff. But yeah, like playing a game, well, it's kind of like the Kinect days, and there's a certain magic about just playing hands-free games. It's obviously better than Kinect because that was
because it works.
Exactly. Yeah, it worked
It
for a start,
works.
which is more than you can say for Connect. But I was so shoddy. I
Right.
can't believe they made that.
It's when they try to
thing so
make
quick.
it like a thing that you had to have connected on the next Xbox that came out. And
Yeah, I
it was
genuinely think
like,
that's what ruined
did you think
their
it was that?
fortunes.
Yeah, do you think it was that good? The first rendition was that good that it needs to be a mandatory requirement for the second one. I was like, yeah, get in the bin.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh no, we can't. It's
We
all
can't
baked in the
watch your
system."
home.
And then like it's like no, we can't remove it from the set because like it doesn't work without the Connect. And everyone's like, really? And then like a year later, they just like, yeah, we can
Yeah, it
do that
does.
easily.
Still comes in the
Which
box
is
though, because we've now made so many of them that we don't know how to get rid of them.
anyway. Listen, like, I love my Xbox, so listen, but just Connect was other shit. Sorry,
Yeah.
Xbox, Microsoft. But yeah, it's true. Sorry, Alex. We could say stuff like that now. Alex is gone. He would have been furious if we'd have said that when he was around.
Yeah,
He's
moving
probably
on.
still got his plugged in. Okay, well that's it for one other bit of news. Then we'll quickly cover off. No Man's Sky has got yet another update. I don't know. This one is all you're kind of doing like digging up fossils and so they've just added history to these procedurally generated worlds as well. Now you can go like digging up dinosaur skeletons and stuff, which is just like the game is just so comical. Like
Yeah.
how
much more can
stuff
they keep adding?
to
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like they're currently
Yeah, like
working
no
on another
game.
game as well. That's what makes me laugh. Like they're working on another game. Stop development on this. You've done enough now. Go finish your other
Yeah,
game.
you finished the game, guys.
Yeah.
I wish they would just release because I don't. The thing that puts me off playing them is it's just like I feel like it's just so.
It's gonna overwhelm you now.
I've missed. Well, yeah, and I've missed the boat on it. The ship has sailed. If they just release No Man's Sky 2 and then put all these systems that they've got in it, I'll be like, wow, this game's amazing. And they could just give it like a new story and a new kind of quests to do and stuff in it, a new, reason to play it. And I'd love to jump into that, but right now I feel like because I just see there's so many systems, and it's all right if you just started it when it was a very basic game, and they've just added bits to it and stuff. It's just easy to kind of keep up with all the changes. But if I jump in now, I get the sense that I'm just going to be completely overwhelmed with so much systems to do, and I don't like.
It's
lots of
done
systems
quite well. It's the way the updates are done. It's done quite well. I would say if you do get a chance to play it, and if you do already have it, if not, wait until it goes on sale, pick it up because trying this in VR, it's another one of them games I think that's going to blow you away a little bit, Laurie. And I think that's why I'm waiting for you to try it because every time you try like these AAA games in VR, you lose your shit. You're like, this is everything I need, and you've not played No Man's Sky yet. So
funny you say that. It's actually on sale at the moment from £40 down to £16.
Worth it.
One of the games.
Worth
one
it.
of the games we were talking about.
Yeah.
I can't like. I know it's with stuff like this. I'm like. I will pick it up and I will play it, but it's like Pistol Whip as well. I've just got so many games. Like these games, they'll go on sale again.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's below £10 kind of thing.
It's not, but it's not like they're closing the PlayStation Store. This is my last chance to pick up these games. They're always going to be on sale every couple of months. As soon as the sale ends, give it a month and they're back on sale again, and it might be.
Yeah,
I need to wait till I'm ready to play stuff because otherwise, if I just have
need to finish some more things. Yeah.
And not playing it stresses me out. So yeah, this is in there with Pistol Whip as games that I definitely will play at some point, and Beat Saber as well. That I just like. There's no rush. These games aren't going anywhere. Yeah, I say that my headset will probably blow up next week, and I'll be able to play them.
You'll buy another one. Last bit of news: Zombie Army.
Last bit of news. Oh yeah, Zombie Army.
Finally dated for May the 22nd.
I'm glad you said that because I would have missed that.
Yeah, that's why I highlighted it.
Yeah, it's like hey. Yeah. Zombie Army. It's been dated for May the 22nd. So
yep, looking forward to that. I know there was some questions when it was in Gamescom about like what it was like. Some people commented on things, but
yeah, it didn't demo very well, did it?
No,
I know
and then
Henry,
then they held it back, didn't they? For till now, it's not had any news really. It's been really quiet. So
yeah, this is not one for me at all. It's like
it is
nothing about this game looks like something I want to play.
It is everything for me. Everything. I cannot wait. I am so excited to play this, and I really hope it works well because I love the Zombie Army games. I like the Sniper Elite games. So yeah, I need this to hit. I really do. I really do.
Well, I hope it does for you.
Yeah, me too.
Good. Well, what else have you been playing this week, Reece? Anything else other than Hitman? Because I mean, Hitman. It wouldn't surprise me if that's all you've been playing. Because it's
well, before Hitman came out, there was another game that also released the week of recording this, and it's called The Living Remain, and it's available on Quest and also PC at the moment, and I really hope they do bring it to PSVR2 for some of the things I'm going to say in a second. But first off, to kind of build it up a little bit, this game reminds me of both Half-Life Alyx and
Hmm.
also Arizona Sunshine, just because of the way it's made. So it's a narrative-driven story game. It's done the same way as like Arizona Sunshine, where you go through certain levels and you do the things in them levels, and you kind of progress to the next one while you're getting spoken to by somebody on a radio, and you're kind of looking for your family type of deal. While there's zombies everywhere, but what makes it feel like Half-Life Alyx, and this is the cool thing, is a lot of the stuff is interactable, like random things that you'll go through a cupboard and then you'll see a box or and like a carton, and you'll see inside that carton there's filament or ammo, and you have to take out the whole carton, grip the carton, grab the things out of the carton, take it all, and all that type of stuff. The reloading's exactly the same as Half-Life Alyx, but the upgrading system as well is very similar. So to upgrade your weapons on here, you use a 3D printer, so you have to hunt around for filament, and then when you get to the 3D printer, you put your weapon in there and you can do different upgrades for your weapon. And this works a similar way as Half-Life Alyx, except from Half-Life Alyx is done in a more futuristic setting. Um, it's in early access on PC, and like I said, it's just come to Quest 2, Quest 3, and 3S, and it's gripped me. It's really enjoyable. The levels are bite-sized to the point where you can do maybe 2 or 3 in one sitting, to the point where you then might want to take a break. But I think one level maybe took me about 20 minutes. Um, it's just it's just a nice, decent experience. The zombies aren't too difficult. The narrative, the story that they're trying to tell is not gripping me to the point where I'm like, I need to get to the end of this now. It's gripping me enough though to kind of want to see, does he reach his family? Does he get to this? What happens? And it leaves me questioning these different things, and it plays really nice. It's really responsive. It looks pretty decent on the Quest. I'm interested to see how it looks on the PC VR, just simply because obviously I'm sure the textures would look a lot better. But for like a first impressions, I think I've probably done 3 or 4 missions or levels now, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really taken me by surprise, because this is a game I heard nothing of. It was in early access on PC back in 2022. And I've heard nothing about it, absolutely nothing. And then all of a sudden, they
Yeah.
announced it's coming to Quest, and then I found it, and I was like, okay. And I started speaking to the developers, and I'm like, how the hell have I not heard about this? And they're like, it's the same thing for every game that's getting made out there. Making the game is only one part of the struggle. Marketing it and finding people that are going to resonate with that game to talk about that game is another big thing as well. But this is one that I really hope hits PSVR2, because I think it'll give some people that Half-Life Alyx itch, not to the extent of
Mm.
Half-Life Alyx, but enough to kind of know what some of them gameplay elements were like. Now, obviously, some people may say it's nothing like Half-Life Alyx. This is a zombie game. Yes, you're correct, but it's you can see some of the inspiration is there, and no, it's really good. It is so I'm enjoying that at the moment. And the other game, do you want to ask any questions before I jump on? Because
No,
it
no,
sounded
go
like
on.
he's going to. I thought I'd just quickly rattle these off.
No, I was just gonna say I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm hoping more people check
Definitely
it
looks
out.
like a Reece game.
Yeah, I think you'd like it as well. Even though I know you enjoyed
Mm.
Arizona Sunshine for the
Hmm.
humor, I think you'd enjoy this for the story wise, because it's very simple. It doesn't feel threatening at times. I think you'd enjoy it for that reason. Um, but then the next game I jumped into, and I will be really brief for this because I haven't played a lot of it yet, was Deep Cuts. I literally tried the first mission just to kind of get a little bit of a feel for it. And I'll come back round and speak about this in maybe a couple of weeks' time when I've played some more of it. But I tried like the Wild West setting that it puts you in. Looks pretty decent. I like the way the art style changes when you go into different movies. But it just reminds me a lot of Bone Lab. And with Bone Lab, although Bone Lab is a good game, it's also a game that involves a lot of jank, a lot of issues, and I suppose that's what people call VR jank. It's kind of one of the things where it happens quite a lot though, and you're like, to the point where the enjoyment quickly fades at times. But it's you have to be in a mood to play these type of games. And I think when I tried it, I wasn't in the best of moods to try and play a game like this. But I did jump back into it, and I was enjoying my time with it. I just need to play more of it. I think it's quite well done, but it's one of the ones that I don't think is going to be for everyone. But for people that don't know what Deep Cuts is, it's literally you play as I think an intern, a movie studio or something along these
No,
lines.
she's like the editor.
Is she the editor?
for the movie
Okay,
studio.
all right.
Yeah,
I
she's quite senior.
clearly ignored that part then. I just wanted to shoot something clearly, but yeah. So all the movies, you got to go into these different type of ones. There's westerns, and I think there's like a carnival one as well. And it's quite an interesting idea the way it's done, I think. But yeah, I think I need to spend some more time with it to get a bit more to grips with it. So yeah.
Okay, well, look forward to hearing your thoughts in future episodes.
That's all from me this week.
Well, that's all from you. That's all from us this week, I think, then, in that case. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Reece, for joining. Do you have any final words to say, Reece, before we wrap things up?
No.
No,
I'm good now.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go back and play Hitman.
Nice. Oh, everyone, well, if you've enjoyed this episode, love it if you could please tell your family and your friends all about us. And if you'd like to get more involved, please do not hesitate to jump into our Discord and say hello. Thank you to everyone that's done so already. Yeah. I have been your host, Laurie, and I've been joined by the one and only Reece, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.